North Korea fired an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan on Tuesday, the first such provocation since September of this year.
To put things in perspective, you might have just heard this morning there was another missile launch from North Korea.
As it just so happened, the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency was holding a press conference introducing new attack warning sirens to the public.
I would have hoped that he had waited about another couple hours so we could have gotten this done first.
As island residents began learning about the missile launch.
But again, it's not stopping. It's in our face. It's the elephant in the room. So when people say that we shouldn't prepare for this, it's not true. We should prepare for this. Unlikely, emphasize that, unlikely for many, many, many reasons, but we should be prepared.
We have to figure out and think about the unthinkable. Think about the things that are the worst case scenarios that may happen throughout the state and do that planning. And a nuclear attack by a rogue nation is one of those things that we have to think about.
We believe that it is imperative that we be prepared and for every disaster, and in today's world, that includes a nuclear attack. We want to make sure that the public is informed and the visitors who come to our island as well. And this exercise, the monthly test, is really our effort to make sure that the public understands what is required of them.
The new tone is intended to warn Hawaii residents of an impending nuclear missile attack based on the current tensions between the United States and North Korea, including the threats from North Korea to target Hawaii.
Why are we reinitiating this siren? The whole purpose of doing this unique siren tone for this event is to provide the people of Hawaii, including the visitors, as much warning and preparation time as possible. That is the whole purpose of this unique siren tone. Now, this signal tone will be initiated centrally at Berkheimer Tunnel to the statewide. So as soon as Pacific Command notifies my state warning point emergency operating people that there is a missile inbound toward Hawaii that endangers Hawaii, we will trigger the statewide siren from Berkheimer Tunnel from here. So that'll save us some time. And again, the focus is to get the public and our visitors as much warning time to prepare as possible. At this point in time, I would ask our technical guys to sound a demonstration of the attack warning siren. If you recall, we say it's a new siren, but it's something that has been in existence for many, many years. It's the old World War II air raid sirens. So if you watch the History Channel on TV, you'll probably hear the same thing. But we are reinitiating this siren tone. Now, you have handouts that we've passed out. One is a slide that shows you exactly what's going to happen when we do the test on Friday. Normally, we have the steady tone siren, which is the attention alert siren. That will go on for about 50 seconds. There'll be a break for about 15 seconds, and there would be this attack warning tone will go on. And that is what's going to happen on Friday. For those of you that live in Kalaeloa, Barbers Point area, the city and county of Honolulu has a separate tone for hazmat, but that'll be separate, only unique to that jurisdiction in the city and county of Honolulu. As the governor said, this is a test. It's a test. So we want to make sure that this works. So that's why we're doing this procedure right now. And we have to identify if there's any glitches or any handicaps or things that we have to fix ahead of time between us, PACOM, and the counties, that we get ahead of it and repair that right away and get it out.
Representing Hawaii County Mayor Harry Kim was Managing Director Will Okabe.
There's no question there's a lot of challenges that we face today. These are unprecedented times. And there's no question that the Big Island, because of its size compared to the rest of the islands, has many challenges. We have a lot of remote areas. There are areas that, a lot of roads that we need to address. But let me assure the public that, for one thing, our Mayor Harry Kim has had the opportunity to meet with our Civil Defense Administrator, Talmadge Magno, each morning with his staff at 6:30 in the morning from the time he took office. There's no question about his experience or knowledge in regards to civil defense matters. We're very concerned about the challenges that we faced. We're concerned about the public schools, the children that will be in school, depending on the time that this particular situation should happen. But we also know that Harry Kim, our mayor, will definitely have our staff well informed and prepared for any type of situation that may come about in this state of Hawaii. But we'd also like to acknowledge and recognize the leadership of Governor David Ige, along with Vern Miyagi and General Logan, for giving them the opportunity to share with the county about this statewide plan. Because it involves all of us here in the counties in the state of Hawaii to not really take this situation very lightly. We need to be prepared. We need to be cognizant of the situation at hand. With North Korea sending another missile over Japan today, definitely shows us that we are on the right track to ensure that the public safety is at hand. You know, there's no question, I think, that when we look at opportunities for the state or for the counties, that we need to show the leadership at this time to really assure the public of their being safe and being able to respond to this type of emergency that is necessary. So on behalf of Hawaii County, I'd just like to assure all of us here today that we will do it right. We'll do the right thing, and we will be prepared for any disaster that occurs in the state of Hawaii.
Meetings are now being held by the county at locations around the island. They are sharing the guidelines being recommended in case of a possible nuclear event. Civil Defense has requested the participation of all recognized neighborhood watch groups. Meetings were held in Hilo on Wednesday.
We've had a busy day, so thank you, all of you, for your patience. We obviously had some breaking news that happened just a short while ago.
North Korea was again discussed at Tuesday's State Department press briefing.
The United States strongly condemns North Korea's launch of what was likely an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan, indiscriminately threatening its neighbors, the region, and global stability. The DPRK's relentless pursuit of nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them must be reversed. Together, the international community must continue to send a unified message to North Korea that the DPRK must abandon its weapons of mass destruction programs. All nations must continue strong economic and diplomatic measures. In addition to implementing all existing UN sanctions, the international community must take additional measures to enhance maritime security, including the right to interdict maritime traffic transporting goods to and from the DPRK. The United States, in partnership with Canada, will now convene a meeting of the United Nations Command Sending States to include the Republic of Korea and Japan and other key affected countries to discuss how the global community can counter North Korea's threat to international peace. Diplomatic options remain viable and open for now. The United States remains committed to finding a peaceful path to denuclearization and to ending belligerent actions taken by North Korea. And with that, I'd be happy to take your questions.
So on North Korea,
Yes.
This meeting was previously going to be held, or it's been called in response to this launch?
I believe that this was an option that was being considered for some time, but yet with this latest launch, I believe that they decided that this is something they want to do. I know the Secretary spoke a short while ago with the Canadian Foreign Minister, Christina Freeland. Canada is one of the member countries of the 16 convening nations. Those were the nations that all worked together back in the 1950s. Back during the Korean War. Yeah. Yeah.
And that meeting would be in New York?
I don't know. I don't have details of that. Again, a lot of this is just coming together right now as we're responding to what took place today.
Has he made any other calls that you're aware of, other than to?
Any other calls? I know that the Secretary has had interagency calls today. As many of you know, it was on the public schedule that the Secretary met with King Abdullah of Jordan. At that time, he was passed a note in his bilateral meeting in which he was informed of what we believe to be the ICBM launch. The most recent launch prior to this was September 15th. So the Secretary was notified then. He immediately came back to the State Department, and that's where he had some interagency calls, and since then has spoken with the Foreign Minister of Canada. I know he plans to have a discussion with other of our allies too.
But not yet.
As of right now, I mean, literally, this just happened about 2 hours
I know. I'm
ago.
not trying to
So
be critical. I just
first
wanna know.
step is talking with the interagency. As that step was taking place, we were assembling this statement from the secretary that I just read out to you. And then I know he spoke with Christina Freeland. Since then, I'm not aware of the exact calls, but I know that he was planning to call some of the allies in the region.
This missiles, 2 missiles launch or 3 missiles?
Pardon me?
Is that 2 missile launch or 3 missiles?
As of today?
Yeah.
I think we're still working through the information, but as far as I know, there was just one, but we can double check that. Again, this information is just fresh, so I don't want to get ahead of anything that the Department of Defense has said so far. They issued a statement earlier, and for the specifics of the technicals, I would just refer you to the Department of Defense.